A man accused of duping international students destined for Canada has now pleaded guilty in provincial court. Brijesh Mishra admitted to giving students fraudulent acceptance letters to Canadian post-secondary schools. Jon Hernandez has been following this case. We spoke with him earlier today about Mishra's plea.
A series of immigration offenses, including misrepresentation and providing false information. So the federal Crown kind of outlines some common patterns that victims said they endured throughout these incidents. It would start off, they'd be typically students in India or prospective students in India coming from modest backgrounds. They would be referred to his office to study abroad in Canada, and they would show up and he would typically tell them they needed to apply to a few different schools to ensure, getting enrolled in one of these institutions. They'd provide him some supporting documents, and then that's where they'd leave. Some time would pass. He would call them up and say, hey, we got you into a school. They'd show up and he'd hand them an acceptance letter. And it wouldn't be until they arrived in Canada at these actual schools, ready to enroll in classes, that they would find out these letters were actually fake. And during this whole process, he would collect tuition fees, application fees, consultant fees, and in most cases, they never got any of that money back.
And just to clarify, what is the gentleman's name?
Brijesh Mishra.
Okay, and he addressed the court today. What did he say?
Yeah, he basically stood up and said he was very apologetic, but also said that this whole saga has actually taken a toll on him and his family. He traveled to Canada in 2022, but left his wife and child behind in India. He says they're being harassed by some of the victims' families over there. They've vandalized their family home, but he promised he would never do something like this again. We did speak with his defense lawyers who reiterated that claim.
Well, I would say he did show genuine remorse. A lot of times the accused don't want to address the court. So he did do that, whether it was for a moment or seconds. He did offer a sincere apology. And he did say that he can't go back and change the past, but moving forward, he will do whatever he can, to correct himself. And the pleas that were entered today are clearly a demonstration of his remorse, because he did have a right to run a trial on this.
So Mishra has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. He has served half of that time during his time in custody, but his legal troubles won't end there. He's expected to be deported after he finishes serving his sentence, and then he faces a series of criminal charges overseas, including one serious charge of human smuggling in India that actually carries a maximum penalty of death. So concerning legal troubles ahead for Mishra, even after it ends here in Canada.